In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. By the sun and its brightness.
Commentary. Allah swears by the objects and phenomena mentioned in verses Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 1-7, which gives these creations an added significance and draws man's attention to them. Man ought to reflect on these phenomena and try to appreciate their value and the purpose of their creation. The first oath is taken by, I swear by the sun and his broad light, Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 1. The phrase in his broad light is, though conjoined to by the sun by means of the conjunctive particle, and the context indicates that broad light is an adjectival position qualifying Shams the sun, that is to say, I swear by the sun when it is in the time of forenoon. The word duha is that part of the day when the sun rises early in the morning and goes up slightly higher on the sky, and its light spreads on the earth. Man observes it to be near to himself and observes it fully on account of lack of heat.
And by the moon when it follows it.
The second oath is taken by, and by the moon when she follows him. Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 2. This signifies one of two things. 1. The moon following the sun is seen clearly during the middle of the lunar months when the full moon rises to dominate the sky with its radiance after sunset. 2. The phrase when she follows him could signify just as the sun is seen in full and broad light, so does the moon, following the sun, becomes full. The third oath is taken by,
and by the day when it displays it,
and by the day when it shows its brightness. Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 3. The attached pronoun ha-its may possibly refer to the earth or the world, although neither of the nouns precedes it. Such usage in Arabic is commonplace, especially if the phenomenon, such as the earth or the world, with which man is generally familiar. In such a case, Arabs commonly refer to the phenomenon simply by using a pronoun without making prior reference to it. The addressee understands the meaning by implication. The Quran has many examples of, and bears ample testimony to, this grammatical phenomenon. The verse thus signifies by the day, and by the world or the earth which the day has brightened up. In other words, by the day when it is fully bright. Another possibility, which is more pertinent to the context, is that the pronoun it refers to the sun, in which case it signifies by the day when it brightens up the sun. This relation of attribution, in this case, would be a metaphorical relationship. Although the sun is usually understood to be the cause of the day to come out, here the day is said to brighten up the sun. Thus the verse would signify when the sun is seen brighten up because the day is out.
And by the night when it conceals it.
The fourth oath is taken thus, and by the night when it envelops him. Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 4. In other words, when the night sets in, the brightness of the sun is concealed and only darkness prevails.
And by the sky and he who constructed it.
The fifth oath is, and by the sky and the one who built it. Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 5. Most clearly the context suggests that the ma may be taken as infinitival particle masteriya, signifying by the sky, and its make as elsewhere in the Quran. How my Lord has forgiven me, Surah Yasin, ayah 27. It should be kept in mind that the translation of the text is not based on this construction. It is based on taking ma as musula, in the sense of the one as adopted by Maulana Thanawi and explained by the author in the following verse. Word taswiya means to proportion, balance, perfect. The meaning of this word has been explained in the previous surah.
And by the earth and he who spread it.
The sixth oath is, and by the earth and the one who spread it. Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 6. Ma in this phrase too stands for masteriya, or infinitival particle, signifying by the earth and its expanse. The word tawan means to spread. Thus in the two verses above, attention has been focused on the great designer and architect of the sky and earth, that is, the universe, and on the perfection and complete freedom from flaw or defect in the design and creation of the universe. Sayyidina Qatada and others reported this interpretation. Kashaf, Baydawi, and Qutub preferred this interpretation. Some of the commentators have taken ma in the sense of man, the one who, and refer it to Allah, signifying by the sky and its maker, and by the earth and one who spreads it. Thus far, all the oaths were taken by the created objects and phenomena. In between is taken oath by Allah, and Allah knows best. The seventh oath is taken thus.
And by the soul and he who proportioned it.
And by the soul and the one who made it well. Surah Ash-Shams, ayah 7. In this phrase, the particle ma is taken to function as infinitival particle. It signifies by the human soul and its perfection. If ma is taken in the sense of man, it signifies by the soul and the one who proportioned it, that
and inspired it with discernment of its wickedness and its righteousness,
and inspired it with its instincts on evil and piety. Surah Ash-Shams, Ayat 8. The word ilm denotes to cast into the heart. The word future denotes open transgression. The meaning of taqwa is well known. This sentence is linked with the seventh oath and by the soul, and the one who made it well. Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 7. Signifying that Allah has equipped man with human soul which has the capacity to distinguish between good and bad, and right and wrong. In other words, in his makeup Allah has built in him a special ability to choose freely the righteous path or the sinful path. Whichever way he takes out of his own free will, he will be rewarded or punished. This interpretation is deducible from a traceable hadith which is transmitted by Muslim on the authority of Sayyid Imran ibn Hussein, may Allah be pleased with him. The Holy Prophet was sitting in the company of his followers. They asked him a question regarding divine destination. In response, the Holy Prophet recited this verse. This verse will allay the doubt about divine destination, only if the words then inspired it with its instincts of evil and piety. Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 8 are taken in the sense that human soul has been inspired with conscience to distinguish between right and wrong, and has also been granted the ability to do good as well as the ability to commit sin. Man is not a creature of pure force or coercion. He has free will to choose his path of good or evil. He, in fact, has the option to do good or refrain from sin. The choice is his, for which he is rewarded or punished. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah and Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, report that whenever the Holy Prophet recited the verses Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 7 to 8 under comment, would stop and recite the following supplication aloud. O Allah, give my soul its good. You are its guardian and master and the best to purify it.
he has succeeded who purifies it.
Success is really attained by him who purifies it, and failure is really suffered by him who pollutes it. Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 10. This is the subject of the seven oaths. The primitive meaning of tazkiyah is inner cleanliness, signifying he who obeyed Allah and purified his inner and outer selves. Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 10 signifies he who caused his soul to sink in the swamp of sins will be deprived. The word dasa is derived from the basic word das, which denotes to bury in the ground, as for instance it occurs elsewhere in the Quran, thus, or put it away into the dust. Surah An-Nahl, Ayah 59. Some of the commentators have analyzed that the pronouns of zakah he purified and dasa he caused to pollute as referring to Allah, signifying that he is successful indeed whose soul Allah has purified, and he has failed whose soul Allah pollutes. This verse has divided the entire mankind into two groups, one successful and two unsuccessful. An example of the second group has been cited to show how it rejected the message of Allah and consequently how Allah destroyed them. Such a group will receive severe punishment in the hereafter. Sometimes, however, an installment of punishment is meted out to them in this world, as in the case of Thamud. Their story is recounted fully in Surah Ar-Raf. Surah Al-Raf, Ayah 73 to 79s. Surah Hud, Ayah 61 to 68s. Surah Ash-Shara, Ayah 141 to 159s. Surah An-Naml, Ayah 45 to 53s. Surah Fussilat, Ayah 17 to 18s. Surah Al-Qamar, Ayah 23 to 32s. Surah Al-Haqqa, Ayah 4 to 5. Here a brief reference is made to that story and their punishment.
And he has failed who instills it with corruption.
See Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 9, for the Tafsir.
Thamud denied their prophet by reason of their transgression.
See Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 9, for the Tafsir.
When the most wretched of them was sent forth.
See Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 9, for the Tafsir.
And the Messenger of Allah said to them, do not harm the she-camel of Allah, or prevent her from her drink.
See Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 9, for the Tafsir.
But they denied him and hamstrung her. So their Lord brought down upon them destruction for their sin, and made it equal upon all of them.
So their Lord sent eradicating torment upon them, and made it equal for all, and he has no fear of its consequence. Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 14. The word Namdama refers to such tormenting scourge as is unleashed on a person or a nation again and again, until it destroys or crushes them completely. Fusawaha signifies that the scourge overtook the entire nation, men, women, children, and young and old. In conclusion, the verse says Allah has no fear of its consequence. It means that divine torment that destroys a nation completely cannot be compared to the torment inflicted by the greatest king of this world, because a tyrant king who destroys his people on a large scale fears for his life, lest the survivors or the supporters of the people destroyed should revenge on him and rebel against him. Whoever destroys others is himself in danger of revenge. Those who attack others must necessarily bear the brunt of counter-attack except Allah. When a people incur divine punishment and are thus destroyed, Allah has no fear from anyone,
and He does not fear the consequence thereof.
See Surah Ash-Shams, Ayah 14, for the Tafsir.